Projection. What could I read to learn more about the phenomenology of projection? I want to learn to recognize when and why it manifests in my life. Typically, it's actually a very simple process. You notice something like, that dude is a coward, but that feeling of recognition is really about yourself. It's usually something bad, a character flaw. You can notice it by paying attention to who you expend energy on criticizing or judging. Projection is the simplest of defenses to cure, you just have to be honest to yourself, about yourself. Easier said than done, I suppose. My understanding of the topic is a bit broader. Basically, if you need someone/something to embody certain characteristics to maintain your ego, then it is projection, in the broadest sense. But is projection limited to specific human victims? For example, if I said that the residents of a country on the other side of the planet were all lazy, or if I said that all cats are more affectionate than dogs. These are rather banal examples, but wouldn't these also be projection? There is no phenomenology of projection, as in there's no experiential feeling of it happening. With most ego defense mechanisms, they occur entirely unconsciously. The only way to tell if you're doing it is honest self-reflection, like questioning if a criticism you're making of something else also applies to you. I really wouldn't worry about it too much though, unless you think you have a big problem with it, in which case you might want to work with a professional. There's nothing wrong with projecting a bit, and interrogating your own ego defense mechanisms can become unhealthy, they exist for a reason. Everyone utilizes defense mechanisms in their lives. Projection is one of many. You need to get therapy/analysis to truly recognize where you are using a specific defense too much. Regarding the projection of anger, i.e., I am not angry with you, you are angry with me. This might arise out of intrapsychic conflict, where it might be a way of avoiding feelings of guilt, shame, anxiety, or it might be a way of establishing a masochistic form of relating. The reasons are various, yet the mechanism of projection arises as a defense. Usually these defenses are to avoid loss of love, fear of castration or fear of guilt. It may also, as alluded to above, be a way of recreating a particular object relational pattern. Usually this is motivated out of a safety and familiarity rather than pleasure per se. The whole area of enactment covers this. You might like some of Fairbairn's papers. It may also arise as a breakdown phenomena or as a deficit, but either way the contours of self and object are blurred or poorly established. Here the effect infuses the psychic space and maybe affix itself to either self or object, or infuse the field in general, leading to confusional states, though these may also arise from projective processes too. I think here of Winnicott's subjective objects. Regarding sexual impulses and the projection of aggression, it might be the superego's attacks that are projected, not the sexual impulses per se. Or it might be both, sexual impulses and superego aggressions, creating an object that is sexually aggressive. Or, as in Freud's first theory of anxiety, the sexual excitement turns into anxiety and a sense of danger, which adds fuels to the idea that the object now poses a threat. These are the thoughts off the top of my head. I think knowledge of psychodynamics gives us various ways of construing these phenomena.